you a groundwork guy, in-hand guy? Or? I think I know the answer to that, but I'm not sure.
Generally, I'll use groundwork for behavioral issues.
Okay.
If I want to get performance, if I want to teach a side pass or a half pass or, turn around, I'm going to do that under saddle. But having said that, going back to your question, I believe that any great horseman, okay, and this to me is where you see the roadblocks. It comes really down to arrogance and ego, right? So if I have an ego and I'm arrogant with my horse, what happens is I'm not interested in what he's thinking. I'm not interested in what he's feeling. I'm not interested in that, looking for that expression. Hey, this is the way I teach this. This is the way you're going to learn. But a great horseman, or a good horseman for sure, is always going to say, well, every horse is an individual. So, I got 15 different ways to teach a side pass, 20 different ways, right? So I have to find the fit for that horse. I can't impose myself with my method. Every horseman has a program, right? We all have a program. I started colt, I have a program. But that program is constantly changing to that horse. And my ego doesn't get in the way with the horse. I don't have an ego with the horse because as you heard me say last night, for me, I always remember that the horse never asked to be here. So when I put that saddle on the back, I know that horse never wanted that saddle on their back. Given the choice, put the saddle on the back, ride me around, or go up in that pasture and stand and eat grass. What are they going to do, right? So
I take the grass every day.
Yeah. So when you see a horseman that's not flexible, you see an arrogant and a horseman that's arrogant and has an ego. If you an ego and an arrogance and an ego, for me, is a stumbling block to knowledge.
100%. Let me ask you this though. Like, predominantly though, if you can fix it under saddle, you're probably gonna. I'm assuming, just based on what I see, you're probably gonna do it under saddle.
Depends on the problem, right?
Okay.
So if it's a behavioral,
most of the time though.
Well, most of the time, if I'm working the horse, I'm going to be under saddle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, so that to me that is amazing, because I feel like in the horse world, everybody's looking for like a silver bullet. A one size fits all. Oh, you have to do groundwork. Oh, don't never get off the saddle. And so like the flexibility of, and I'm exact opposite. Like, I'm gonna do everything on the ground.
Right.
I'm not half the rider you are.
No, don't say that.
And so 100%. Like, I watched you ride yesterday.
That's all right. Please don't say that.
And so I'm gonna do everything on the ground so that I can make sure that when I get up on that horse, like, I'm gonna look good.
Well, see,
right?
I'll do that.
It's different when I was younger,
right?
But as I'm getting older,
well, I certainly, especially when I'm doing a problem horse, which I do the majority of horses. I do either horses that have issues, or I start colts, right? So obviously, I'm not going to hop up in that saddle as I get older too. I'm a smarter horseman. When I was in my 30s, my young 30s, I would just get up, say, hey, if he starts bronking, I'll ride it out. But as a horseman, now I realize that's not a horseman.
Man, see, if one broncs with me, I feel like I've missed something.
Right.
I'm embarrassed if one broncs with
Right.
me.
I'm the same way, but honestly, it's part of it for me is like the horsemanship aspect, listening to the horse, all of that. Honestly, part of it's the safety aspect for me too, right? Because
I get it.
my thing is, like, I do not want to get hurt.